It's BB and Dealey, we know you have been waiting, so here's another podcast about movies, burn after watching.
Welcome to the Burn After Watching podcast. I'm Borderland.
This is Dan.
And today we are jumping into Spooktober, horror month. If you are a fan of horror film, but you're also a fan of watching people that don't like horror film watch horror film, that's kind of like a sweet spot that you're in right now. I don't know what's that audience. It's pretty niche, but it's here.
Would you think there are more? Is horror one of those genres where they just have like a cult following?
I think horror fan are most likely the only people sustaining the DVD, Blu-ray, industry. I feel like horror fan are very old school. They like I follow a lot of guys that buy VHS. Like they hunt VHS of their favorite horror movie to get that CRTV VHS feel. Because I think for a horror movie, it's better the lower quality. It's like a totally different vibe. It's almost like the equivalent of buying vinyl for music.
Right.
I totally get it, but not for any film. This very specific film, like if you watch Alien or something like that on a VHS, it must be really a different vibe.
Yeah, you probably don't get as much of a, maybe you don't want that clean, modernistic, slick. You want that gritty nature, something that feels like probably the alien or the monster to almost pop out of your screen.
Exactly. I think I think there's a very strong audience for horror movie. And that's why and I'm just realizing now that I always consider myself not a fan because I'm always too scared. I feel like it's too scary for me. But now and we've talked through this through this podcast, we talked about the fact that we both don't really like horror movie because we get scared. And now I'm realizing as I'm watching them that potentially I'm not as scared as I thought I would be with some of those films. But it's just the risk reward balance of horror movie is so bad. There's so many bad horror movie. Like even the average horror movie is so much lower in quality than the average movie in general that to take a chance, it's not that at this point, I don't think that I'm actually scared. I'm watching so many of them and I rarely get scared. I say that and then I feel like I'm going to get screwed in the coming week. But I feel like the risk reward is just so rare that I find a film that I like that I would rewatch.
Yeah, I think that's very valid. I think when you watch comedy, you expect to get laughs. When you watch action, you're getting like John Cena flying through a roof or something. So there's expected value add. But with horror, it's either you get, as we kind of get into it week by week, you're either going to get scared to the point where, the value gets lower because who actually seeks out, I'm sure there's a lot of people who actually seek it out, but that feeling of being scared to your core versus a movie that just fails to deliver.
I would rather be scared. If you tell me you will get, I'd rather be scared because at least it did what it was supposed to do. The most horror movies are just boring and poorly made.
Right.
And that's the worst thing you can have.
Yeah, even if you think of Long Legs last year, Long Legs the marketing was the scariest movie of all time. And then it just turned out to be such a disappointment because it's you got 5 seconds of Nicolas Cage being an absolutely insane, psychotic person, and then it just went into the gimmicks of Supernatural. So I guess that's the thing, right? In that logic, I want to be scared where I can't sleep until 2 a.m.
That's the goal. So at least if I feel like that, if I feel like watching a horror movie, I want it to be a good horror movie. If I only give it a one chance out of 50 movie I watch, it's a horror film. It's better be a good one, but it's so hard to find a good one. Anyway, we can look at this month as us trying to find a movie that scares us more than us trying to scare ourselves. But so this week is Clown Week, which is a week that I've been concocting in my head for a while. The two movies we are talking about today, the hit franchise, It 1, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, have been in my watch list for a while, and I know that you don't like clown, and in my head I was like, ooh, for sure he hasn't seen that. I'm gonna keep them there, and then that's gonna be a great October episode. But I've learned that you did watch them, so we'll see how that go. We also gonna be doing modern horror like last year. This year it will be The Conjuring and Bring Her Back with Mary. Then we're gonna have Ghost Week with Dan, which is Poltergeist and 13 Ghosts. And then we're gonna finish that up on October 31st with Classic Horror Week, which is gonna be Halloween and Rosemary's Baby. All those films I haven't seen. Is there any other that you've seen?
I think I've seen the Halloweens. But outside that, like modern day horror, that's high risk, lowest reward. So definitely skip. But yeah, the It franchise, I think, as we kind of will go into it, like the most oldest It with Tim Curry. Like Tim Curry, his face is so like it's like silly putty. Like you can kind of like push it into like any direction of like making a scary face. Tim Curry in and of itself is a scary man. So I don't mess with old It, but modern day It, I kind of wanted to test my boundaries when it first came out, and I was I guess I was not disappointed because it didn't scare me as much as normal clowns do.
Yeah, I was really dreading. For some reason I thought, because I feel like a lot of people were talking about it, and because they had pretty good score, at least on Letterboxd, that I was like, okay, so it must be very good at being scary or like very well made. It is made by, the director is Andy Muschietti, who directed Flash, which is also bad. He's also directing The Brave and the Bold, which is a new Batman movie with Robin. So that's worrisome. He's like 0 for 3 right now for me. So the first It came out in 2017. Did you watch it the year it came out?
I think I watched it in 2018 when it came out to watch at home.
Okay. I never read the book. I never seen the previous one that you mentioned. I at first I wanted to put all 3 movies together, but I realized that the old It from the 80s at this point?
I think so.
Yeah. Is like not on streaming anywhere. So it would have been really hard to kind of find it and watch it. Never read anything It related. I know there's a TV show coming out now on HBO. Welcome to Derry.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be watching that. It looks terrible. But I guess I was expecting kind of a slick modern horror, but I was really expecting to lean really hard on like the known obsession with clown. Like people are really scared of clown. And I feel like I got pretty let down because first, the movie is so long for no good reason, and the first one is not as bad. Obviously, the second one is almost 3 hours long, which is ridiculous. A ridiculous length for that kind of film. But even the first one, which is like around 2 hours, I felt like the filmmaking was kind of really clunky. It really annoyed me to watch because the editing was so weird. It felt like there's a lot of scene that went on forever. I was really not that interested about the kid. Like, it's interesting to have kid because you can hurt kid, which is something horror movie tend to not do. But at the same time, it was maybe it was kind of a compromise of we're gonna be like killing children, so let's not make it too realistic. Let's go a bit over the top cartoony horror to like kind of mitigate that. But for me, the whole thing was kind of laughable. A lot of the horror moment, and maybe it's more supposed to be more fun than scary. But for me, it was just like, all right, that it looks so silly, and the visual effect have this weird plasticky look, like glossy look, that I was like, what is actually, like, what am I supposed to feel? Is it supposed to be like Indiana Jones, where it's just like an adventure film that has horror element? Is it supposed to scare me? Is it supposed to be like fun, kind of tongue-in-cheek? No idea. Like, I walked away being like, I just didn't like it, and I'm kind of confused about what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I think is like my understanding was like it was tapping into all the kids' like phobias. So there was Stanley, like the kid of Jewish faith. His whole thing was like he was afraid of this painting within the temple, and then you got like that glossy, like weird shaped woman, and then you had Eddie, who was like a clean freak. I think he's actually someone who you would say is like Munchausen which is like the Gypsy Road thing, whereas like his mom was telling him that he's sick, but he's actually not sick at all. And his whole thing was like there's like the leper, like someone who's like disease ridden. So I think it was like touching on like the phobias aspects, and like everyone's kind of afraid of clowns. But like what I found was so weird was one, the why like the Pennywise used bullies to like instill more fear. Like bullies in and of itself like are people who are the most afraid, and they're using their inability to process emotions to latch out and intimidate and hit and physically abuse like other kids. Like I thought that was weird, but
it's so extreme.
So extreme.
Like they're cutting people, and they're like they're literally trying to murder them, which is
totally.
like a children doing that. Like it's kind of ridiculous.
It's so silly. And then the whole like story arc around Beverly, like the girl in the group, and her dad being a perv, and
weirdos. Yeah.
All like the pharmacist, like she's like sweet talking a pharmacist who's probably in his late 40s, and she's like 13 years old, like, or even younger. Like it's insane. Like her whole like fear phobia is around her dad being like a pervert, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on? Like this is like very adult themes. But yeah, I agree. Like the scary elements were very like plasticky. It almost felt like we can kind of go into like the second one a little bit. Like people see different things that they're afraid of. Like the second one, like the Native Americans saw Pennywise as a bird. So maybe like in different ways people saw Pennywise or their fears in their own creepy ways. And maybe because they're kids, it's not as developed potentially.
Yeah, like basically he knows their fears, and he used that in his advantage to like scare them, to like, or which is funny, he tried to scare them, but he tried to like bring them over so he can also like capture them.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just kill them on the spot. Like it's really hard to understand what his tactic is. I think he's trying to like mess with people, which I don't have a problem with. It's just like, and using the phobia, I don't have a problem with. The visual look of the movie is kind of like, especially the horror aspect. All the lepers is a good example. Why did it have to be a visual effect? Why isn't it just someone with makeup? It looked like a PS2 game sometime. Like it looked really bad, and it just the second one is even worse. And dude, like the first one, when you were talking about the bullies, right? Which, first of all, the bullies, there's three of them. One of them looks like he's 19 years old. One of them looks like he's 12. One look like they all look so like I mean, even for the main age group, the main boy group, on the good side, the age group, the age, it doesn't make any sense. The fat kid, it looks like he's 12, and he's like flirting with the girl who looks like she could be like 15. And even when one of the bum get like disappeared in the sewer, the guy with the lighter and the flamethrower, on the poster, wanted poster, it says he's 19, I think, or like 18. It's like, which school in which city would have like a guy that looked like he's 12 writing poem to a girl that looks like she's almost 16? Like the whole thing doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, how are those people in the same school? And who, like, even if you're like the weirdest kid and you're not accepted as 16 years old, why would you be talking to like 12 years old about about their project? And you like New Kid on the Block. It's like, it feels like when adults try to write younger characters, they have no idea how people talk. And it's like, oh man, that's really sweet, slay. And it's like, it's cringe at some point. Like it feels like they want to lean on the characters and like make it like care about them a lot. So like the horror is more effective potentially, but I can't remember the name of any of the kids. I can't really even like tell you how many there was. Like I remember like the son of the butcher. I remember the girl. I remember the main guy whose brother died. And then there's three of them that are kind of nerdy in the middle, and then there's a fat kid. And and I feel like I might be forgetting one or adding one that doesn't exist, because they have like their own personality, but most of their personality is just one thing. Oh, this guy is scared of being sick. This guy, his whole personality is that he has glasses and he has a loud mouth. It's like, that's it.
Yeah, I think you were spot on. I had to write down the names. I think like when you look at the second movie and the casting they did in comparison to their younger selves, like I thought that was pretty good. Like Richie is like the nerdy kid. He's like Finn Wolfhard in Stranger Things. He has Bill Hader. I thought that was like the perfect casting, because it's Bill Hader has like that humorous, obviously perspective, and he's a bit of a loudmouth. But yeah, everyone, it was none of them individually are good. As a group, like they make the losers, and I thought like they played that like well-ish. They're all like outcasts and they're at the bottom of the totem pole socially. But individually, their individual storylines, outside of the son of the butcher, I thought was pretty lacking.
I think there's just too many things. Like with all the character having their own sub story about why they are losers and why their life is hard, but even the bullies have their own, and it's gonna get messy. Where the main bully, his dad is it's kind of the same story as the girl, where like they have a dad that is an asshole. Yeah. One of them, and when you look at the first film, it's kind of messy. Like all the stories, trying to like wrap everything up, bring everything together. The second one, oh my God, man. When they tried to bring back the bullies from the first movie into the second one, I was like, what are we doing? And there was like, there's the first group of bullies at the beginning of the film that attack the two gay guys randomly, that open the film. And then the other bullies from the previous film come back, like one of them, and he's really there for almost no reason. He does almost nothing in the whole film. He stabbed one guy, and that's almost it. You don't even see them that often. So like bring him back as a whole is like pointless for how long this movie is. Cut this out. And I thought that like the first movie had some kind of like, okay, you know, you have a bunch of loser, the group form, they try to fight him, it doesn't work, the group breaks up, they're not happy, they reconcile, and then they beat it up. The second one, I was like, all right, the 27 years later thing, he's coming back every 27 years, we're going to be back. Sure. Now, we get everyone back. And the first thing I thought when they reintroduced all the character, I was like, it almost feels like the writer of this script hate their own characters. Like to me, like it feel like almost they wanted. It's not like, oh, it's an horror film, so we need to like hurt our character. It almost feel like they hate them. Like for me, as soon as we saw that, like the girl, who's the actress playing
Jessica
her?
Chastain.
Okay, her intro scene with the like abusive husband. Yeah, I was like, this is like just straight up mean. It doesn't bring anything to the story. I guess they were like, oh, you know, she had an abusive dad, so like it's like a cycle, she's back. But in my head, I was like, that was so unnecessary. Yeah. And it felt like it was just straight up mean. It felt like the movie was just like, let's be mean to this character just for the sake of it. It does not really add up to anything. She doesn't kind of like go get over this over time later on, or like it's something that she has like a personal challenge that she has to get over. Like it doesn't accumulate to anything. And then as soon as they get into Derry, and then it's like, okay, now you have to go find this object that represents your thing, but you have to do it alone. And then we spend an hour seeing everyone's story, and it's like every single like 15 minutes it rewind, where it's like a guy goes into a building guys go from a building from their childhood, they see an object, and then they think that something is behind them, and then the music stops, and then they turn, and it's not there, and they turn again, and it's there. And then you get a scary moment, and then we restart with a different guy. And I was like, what a terrible story structure. What a mess to try to do. You have all those actors, the gang aspect. What's the point of having all those people being by themselves the whole movie? It's so silly.
It's like what they did for like Jessica Chastain's character was very like perverse. And her way of healing her past like traumas is now dating like the fat kid Ben, and now everything's healed. Like it made absolutely no sense. And like also like why is the loser group, like this club, the only group of adults who are going after this clown? Like it seems like historical that Pennywise is killing kids randomly every 27 years, and they're the first group to challenge them. Like
the police is never there. Do you see that?
No.
In both movie, the police is you never see them at all.
The only time you see them in the first movie is the bully's dad is a police officer and he kills his dad.
Yeah.
In the second movie, he comes back after somehow falling, like getting like punched in the face, like getting absolutely destroyed by the son of the butcher. He gets put into I wrote this down. He gets put into jail for killing his father. So that's the only time you see the police. 27 years later, he still somehow managed to maintain muscle mass when he's locked into an insane asylum, and he's able to, like, everyone else is so skinny and frail. He's lost his mind. Pennywise recruits him back, and he's able to, like, stab people or punch his way through and do all these crazy things. Like, your muscles would have been deteriorated. Like, it just makes... And why now adults? Like, if now they're going after the loser group and killing adults, and like terrorizing them, why hasn't he terrorized adults of previous generations? Like there's so many gaps.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's and they try so hard to. There's also like the daughter of the guy that become Pennywise is one of the hallucination of the girl who's going back to her house thinking that there's this old woman living there who's like running half naked around the house behind her back. It's just so over the top. It feels like they try so hard that everything is connected in one way or the other. But it's like, you already told me that none of this is real. All the things that they seeing, except Pennywise directly, are hallucination. Things that they are scared of, and then their brain is playing tricks on them. So why are we getting so complex? Why does the old woman, right, in the old apartment of the girl's dad?
Yeah.
What's the name of the girl? Because that's probably
Beverly.
Beverly. Beverly's dad, her old apartment is burned down. She goes back 27 years later, and there's an old woman living there. The old woman is basically telling her story how she's the son of Pennywise. If this is an hallucination, why is a Pennywise why would Pennywise, who creates this dream she's in, would put that in? What's the thing to gain for him to like to make the old woman his daughter? Like it just doesn't. It just feels like, oh well, we want to like plug in this old photo of the guy and we want to connect this with this, and it's like, but it doesn't actually make sense by your own rule.
Yeah.
It's really a stupid and long movie. And did you even get, like, where did you even get scared? Like, even the jump scare are so, like, you know when they're coming.
I think maybe the only time is like seeing Pennywise for the first time, like him just exposing his face. Like in the first movie, I thought what they did well was there's a scene where they're trying to map out where the like the tunnel system lines up. So they cross-reference like a slideshow with a map, and you see Pennywise like slowly creep his face in like through a balloon. Like I thought that was well done in terms of like what could be seen as a jump scare. But once you get over the fact that like all Pennywise does is make a stupid face where his eyes go the other way and then he opens his mouth, it gets lost on you pretty quickly. Like, it becomes old so fast. But I think, like, for me, like, another thing that, like, makes me so angry is that 27 years later, they're now adults, so they're like, how they speak to one another should be more adult-like. There's a scene at the end of It 2 where they're trying to, like, hurl like names at Pennywise to make him small, and they're like, "Loser, you're a fake." If you're you're in your scene, like 30s and you now have adult like words,
one of them is a comedian.
Yeah,
one of them is a comedian
cussing at Pennywise. I'm like, you fucking loser piece of shit. You're an absolute like garbage. Like, I'd be saying so much more and be so much more animated. Like, they just killed Eddie, right? Like, he just got like destroyed by Pennywise, and they're saying like, you're a loser, you're small. Like, let's be a bit more realistic here.
Even even the bullies when they were children were meaner than them as adult. And like also like I feel like they tried to do so much as like the whole dead light thing, where because she saw the dead light through his mouth, she can now see how people will die, but not all the time apparently. Like it doesn't seem like, or like it kind of like comes up as something that did happen and that she can do now. She saw one of them die when he committed suicide or whatever, and it kind of never is brought up. Like, why would not she tell them all, hey, by the way, none of us will die trying to kill him. I can tell how everyone's gonna die, and none of us will die killing the clown. Especially like the kid that is so scared, like basically the nerd that doesn't want to do anything when the weird spider dude is attacking the other guy and he's frozen and not willing to pick up like a baseball bat or something. Yeah. Why not just tell him, hey, you good? Like, I can tell how you're gonna die, and it's not how you're gonna die. Like, if that's the real thing, what?
Yeah. This isn't like Back to the Future logic where if you're Marty and you tell the Doc Brown of how he dies, it's going to change the future. Like, you abstaining from telling everybody how they're not going to die is actually refraining the group from being successful. Like, she could have been like, you don't die, so then they go all out instead of Eddie just sticking to the wall and not stabbing the weird spider kid.
Also, like, I feel like the whole like the comedian guy was in love with the guy that killed himself. I think that's like, it's kind of poorly explained because I don't remember people's name. We only see the initials, so that's what I assume it meant.
It's Bill Hader, so Richie, and the kid who's afraid of everything, Eddie. So like in the end of the first one, you see him put an R+, like he's digging something into the wall. Yeah. And then after they come back and they kill Pennywise, then he puts an E. But like that's barely entertaining.
So whatever, man. Like, what's the point of that? What are we
like
What are we doing?
To your point, it's so silly. Like that. The beginning scene is those bullies like essentially beating up and assaulting a gay couple, and then at the end you kind of just like, why did they make it seem like being a closeted man is like such a secret that you have to keep in the 20th century, like 21st century. It's just so weird. It's so lazy and loose.
That's what I meant. Like, I mean, like the writer just hates the characters. Like they want them. They don't hate them like, oh, let's hurt them because that's a horror movie. It's like, it feels like, I hate this character. Let's just make them suffer for no purpose in the whole script. I also feel like it's the best example is this, is how like this is such a movie, is that all this shit is happening in a very small town. Yeah. It feels like nobody else give a shit. Like, you talked about the policeman, but like nobody get involved. It's like all this crazy shit is happening, but it feels like the best example is the Chinese restaurant at the beginning of the second film. Okay. They get not attacked, but they get into this frenzy. Is it like bugs are coming out of like a bunch of things, and they screaming, they destroying furniture. And then everything stopped, right? And even though if they might have been, like it might be an illusion that those bugs are there, they are screaming and breaking things for real. Because like even the waitress, which nobody comes into this section of the restaurant the whole time, even the waitress, which is like, all right, like that doesn't make any sense. And then when they leave, they just leave, and the waitress give them a look like, oh, you guys are weird. So it did happen for real, but it's as if like an entire restaurant continued to just eat their food in like a buffet style, while they like basically like screaming as if they were about to die. And it's like, I understand it's a movie, right? But like, can you not just even give me a couple of people like looking around and like being concerned and like like anything? Like, it feels like you're in a small town. You would see building bursting into fire, bullies like almost killing people. Like, it feels like nobody give a shit all the time. Everybody just keeps on going, or they just not there when this stuff happened, but it's like unrealistic.
Totally. It's this town has like dozens of kids dying every 27 years, and it's like,
so why it was 20. Like, they make it that if you move, you just forget everything,
which is great. Then everyone should move.
Exactly. Like, why not move? Like, I don't know if Pennywise is just stuck there. I think he is. but like, why not just move? All those people
Also-
that move just forget everything anyway.
And also, like, why not just blow up the house from the get-go? Like, it seems like when
was
Pennywise
so deep
dies, it got
there,
sucked
right?
in. But yeah, like, let's just, if you remove the house, then everyone just knows, like, there's a clown here.
Well, yeah, at least you can close the, like, what was it, the water thing, right?
Yeah, the well. Like, it's...
The well, yeah.
It's, so you, like, even as a kid, they're like, as adults, Ben, or whoever the main character is, he tells that kid on a skateboard, if you hear voices in this, like, sewer, don't go there. And I was like, okay, makes sense. And somehow the kid still dies. But, like, you see a clown, and even at the beginning, like, there's a little girl, and she's at a baseball game or something, and she goes down, and it's like, you have to come closer. Like, people make fun of me by the way I look, and she's got, like, it's called, like, port wine something, where you've got, like, the blood on your face or whatever. I'm like, this is so loose. Like, you're telling me, like, a small little girl is going to see a creepy-ass clown and be like, oh, you can make this disappear. I just found, like, why aren't the parents freaking out when her kid's not there? The mom and dad are like, oh, it's okay, we'll have another child. Like, I'm like, what? Why are people not reacting?
Exactly. There would be a curfew. There would be like police everywhere. Like a singular kid, not even die, just disappear. Like, I guess in the first movie, you have a little bit of like, we've looked into the tunnel, they're not there kind of thing. Yeah. But like, it like, the fact that like everything still function and like, yeah, like the little girl die at the beginning. And when the gay guys are at the beginning get killed, there's a fair going on. Why would anyone allow kids to go to a fair when like kids are just disappearing left and right, nonstop for decades? It's like, why would a fair ever like be able to be in business going to this town? It makes no sense. There's so many dumb things like this that like a small town would, even a big city, it would be like potentially more loose. Where like, everything's good. It's just a big city, whatever. But like a small town, everybody know everyone. Like everybody know the child that died at the baseball field.
For sure. And also, like, in the first movie, the kids bring weapons. Like they have they take something out of a fence and a little spear or something. Yeah. Why the hell in the second movie, everyone's freaking out that they have to confront Pennywise. Why are people bringing guns? Like, I would be strapped up. I would have like a shotgun, a bunch of guns. I'm just blowing the shit out of Pennywise.
I guess, I don't know if a gun would work on him. I assume so.
For sure. But like,
for sure.
the kids brought like in the first one, like this little like pellet thing that they probably used on the sun, animals, like right, for killing cows, and I imagine. But like, bring something. Like, I understand that words are now sharper than weapons, but like, maybe bring a dictionary or like arm yourself with a thesaurus, But
it doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, no, I mean, like the whole thing is kind of silly, and it's so long. First movie, I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, but it's a burn.
Oh yeah, time. I think I gave it a 3 or 2. I don't have my phone on me, but
it's a 2.
It's a big burn. It's a big burn.
Yeah. Second one for me is a lot worse. I think even if it was not as long, it would still be worse because of the concept they decide to go for, the way that like everybody has to break away and like find those basically like, it becomes like a like almost like not Green Lantern, but like, oh, you have to find your special object, your talisman or whatever you call that. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's so lame. As soon as they were like, oh yeah, you have to go and you have to do it alone. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Like, are we really doing this right now? And man, it was really getting long. I was like, God, I don't know if I can finish this in one sitting. Kind of powered through at the end. But really, even the last 30 minutes, people say it's fun. But I was like, I don't know, man. Like, at this point, I'm just so beat by the last 30 minutes. I was like, fuck this. So I give it a 1.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think I gave it a 2 here, but it's also a burn. The only real like thing pushing here is like the casting. I like Bill Hader, but outside of that, it's a pretty poor movie.
Yeah, I would be interested in a reboot that is actually trying to be scary, but I think the clown thing is just not working for me. I never found clown that scary. I mean, it's scary in real life if it's a real person just wearing clown, because it's like, all right, you're definitely deranged. But as soon as you have the supernatural, then it's like, well, the clown could be anything. If you're basically a demon, whatever, and you can just change in any shape, then the clown is just one thing. It doesn't really mean that you're like deranged or anything. Like a regular person deciding to put clown paint on their face and killing people, that's just like a next level of psychological, like this person is unwell, and I can't even like trust them to do the right thing as a killer. They are totally off the map, you know? So that's scary to me.
Like the first It movie actually triggered a bunch of events in the States. I think it was in North Carolina, with people dressed up as clowns and try to scare people. And for me, scary. Like, that is scary, but I would be like, you know, where you go fight or flight. Most situations, I'm a flight guy. I run kind of guy. If I saw a clown and he's trying to mess with me, I think I go fight mode. I go red, and I'm gonna be loose like this script, and my hands are just flying. So
I think that's very fair. Because that means that someone is truly trying to fuck with you. It's not just that they are actually a bad person who's looking scary and you should leave. It's someone that is attempting to scare you, but is not actually trying to hurt you. So that's like worse in like the real world. I mean, it's not worse literally, but it's like, why are you doing this to me?
Exactly.
At least kill me. Like, you know, like if you're going to scare me, at least kill me. Don't just scare me and then leave. But yeah, no good. That will be it for today. We're going to be back next week with a non-horror movie, because we obviously have like regular movie. Oscar season is in full force. We're going to be talking about Smashing Machine, The Rock. Apparently is ticket to a Best Actor nomination, perhaps. We're going to be back, and obviously Dan is a big wrestling. I don't know if are you a big wrestling fan or just a wrestling movie fan?
I was big into wrestling in the 90s. You know, The Rock, the people's elbow, the people's eyebrow. Good stuff.
So do you know the movie is about a real person? Do you know the real wrestler that he's embodying?
No, because this is like based on like the UFC, so I didn't really get into UFC into the much later years. But there's actually one of the actors who's opposite of The Rock. He is a contestant on the show called The Ultimate Fighter, who won and became he won a huge streak. So it's supposed to be very promising.
All right, so we'll see you back then with the Smashing Machine. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.
See ya.
Cheers.